Hi guys, so my name is Mel. I'm a manifestation and a mindset coach, a life coach. And this is one of my videos I'm doing. Today I'll be talking about Islam and manifestation. It's something that I've been wanting to talk for a long time, but for many reasons, for some reason or not, I stopped. I myself am Muslim and I want to educate people and I want to share my story. I want to share my experiences and how I came across being a manifestation coach. It might be over a couple of videos because there's quite a lot of content, but we'll get going and we'll see how we get on. So, first of all, I basically, when I first came across manifestation, there was all this, like other realities, the universe and quantum fields and the 4D and the 5D and the 3D. And it's very confusing because although it's like very scientific, it's quantum science and it's proven by science and neuro-linguistic programming and neuroscience and, you're basically rewiring your subconscious mind and neuroplasticity. There's just so much like scientific backing behind it. But coming from like a religious point of view, especially Islam, which is what I'll talk about, I do have a lot of I'm not saying like obviously I'm the most knowledgeable, but I have a lot more knowledge than the average person, and especially when it comes to, manifestation and the other like realms and realities. The normal person just thinks, we live this life, we've got the 3D, we can physically see like our hands, we can see objects, we live this life, we have emotions, we live, we die, and that's, what life is about. But because growing up, obviously, like I grew up a Muslim and, we're always told there's like heaven and hell. We're told about like the devil, the angels, and the hellfire. With manifestation, you've basically got other worlds that we cannot see with our like physical eyes, but I have accessed them. I've experienced other realities, and that's why my belief in manifestation is so real. But also, I've obviously achieved so much success in my manifestation journey as well. Whether that's like love, finances, like a house, car, money, whatever it could be. I've had a success in all of them, and I continue to do so. And one thing that I want to share is that when you're manifesting, you don't need to have feelings. I have manifested things when I have been on the verge of like a mental breakdown, like a anxious breakdown. I've been like, like so clenched up, like, God, I really need this. I really need this to happen. And things have manifested because I guess it came down to belief. I guess it comes down to knowing. And I've manifested things my whole life, even before I came across manifestation and how it works, because we are always manifesting, we're always manifesting our whole life. When I was younger, I used to always think I'm really lucky. I just always told myself like, oh, I get things because I'm lucky. And I told myself like, because God likes me, because I'm God's like favourite. And I just felt like God had my back. But and I'm sorry if this video is all over the place. I'm trying to like think how to explain everything. So at the end of the day, we have, like, from a Muslim point of view, once we die, we believe there is an afterlife. There's the time that you are in the grave. There's a time when we'll be, resurrected. And then there's the afterlife where you either go to heaven or hell. Those times are like timeless. There's infinite. There's no end to those times. There's an end to the time in the grave. There's an end to the resurrection. But when you've actually had your judgment, you either go to heaven or hell, and that's where eternity you live. So that shows you like there's no actual time in the world. When we come here, we live our life in the 3D reality. It's a short time. And I remember when I was a young child, like I must have been under 10, and I remember my mum saying to me that this life is just like 3, 4 days. You know, you wake up one day, you'll think, where did my life go? And before you know it, you're like 40, 50 years old. And I totally get that. I totally understand that now. I get where she's coming from. But we also have, in Islam, we believe there's the angels, there's demons, there's the spirit, which is us, which is the spirit inside us. And this is where like manifestation comes, because it's the spirit inside you that's seeing the world, that's experiencing the world. And then it's up to us, your like consciousness, what do we put that spirit through? You know, do we do good deeds? Do we do bad deeds? So we have a choice. And this is where like the other realities, you know, like we get like twin flames. So the way that twin flames works is, in Islam, it's not a case of, from an Islamic point of view, it's not a case of like you meet somebody and you just got that instant like attraction, you fall in love kind of thing. It can be a romantic twin flame, but a twin flame could also just be like, sometimes, have you ever met somebody and you just had that connection, but it's like a really good friend? It could be a work colleague, it could be like just someone that you know, because our spirits, before they were put into our body, they were free. And then it could be that they knew another spirit which is in another body, and when they, you know, when you meet them in this world, they have that connection. We can access like dreams, for example. So how do you explain dreams? Because dreams is another reality. And this is where, you know, like with Neville Goddard's SATS technique, it talks about you have that like visualization, or you say things, affirmations, or you know, you sense like, this is what I want, and you go to sleep. Because when we go to sleep, we enter a different world. In Islam, it's like our body dies. Our spirit is taken out of our body every single night, and then God puts that spirit back into us, and that's when we wake up the next day. That's what we believe in Islam. And I have entered other worlds where I've experienced, like, I've seen things, I've had visions, I've had signs. Like, God has literally given me signs and told me this was not good, or like something really, really big happened in my life. And I remember seeing a dream about someone that I know, and then it just shook me so badly. Then a few days later, I found out some really, really bad news about that person. I have contacted, like, I don't mean contacted in the sense like I control or I work with like demons or, you know, like supernaturals. It's not like that, but I have, how to say it? I've experienced, you know, other realities and other beings. Let's just put it that way. And even, you know, in our like Quran, which is our Bible, there's chapters that talk specifically about the demons, the angels, and, you know, how to protect yourself from them. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember, in this world, it's the devil against God. You know, that's what ultimately this life is about. Because, you know, in religion, we're here to do good, and we're here to follow good and follow God's words. I'm going to have to do another video, but I hope this kind of made sense. And please comment, leave any questions if I've confused you, if I've said something you don't understand, like, please put it below.